Hyperliquid, notorious for conducting the biggest airdrop in crypto history, is back and preparing for the second round, which could be bigger and better than ever. So, in this video, we will provide you with a complete and comprehensive guide on how to qualify for the Hyperliquid Airdrop Round 2. Nonetheless, nothing in this video is financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Do not invest in anything you can't afford to lose. Use a burner wallet for extra security and always conduct your own research. Before we begin, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button to support our channel and stay up to date with the latest crypto guides, reviews, news, technical analysis, and so much more. Friends, let's jump straight into the video. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so before we begin with the Hyperliquid Airdrop tutorial, we are currently on their website, which is hyperfoundation.org. We've got the official X page, which is at HyperliquidX. Give them a follow and turn on the notification bells to stay up to date with everything regarding their network and Hype token. We've also got the Hyper FND page, of which is going to be their airdrop page, so you can stay up to date with all of the token information, of which hopefully will be coming very soon. Now, my friends, we already know that they've conducted their first airdrop, of which they pumped to extreme heights. They made people millions of dollars literally, and this could very well be the second and biggest airdrop of the Hyperliquid airdrops. Now, in this video, we're not going to go through everything you need to know about the Hyperliquid protocol, as we'll be here for a very long time. If you would like to learn more about Hyperliquid, how it works, what it is, then you can let us know and we'll go into a full deep dive. But in a nutshell, Hyperliquid is a decentralized exchange and blockchain of which focuses everything on finance. Now, as you know, we are going to be focusing on qualifying for the second airdrop of Hyperliquid. This was a highly requested video and we promised our community that we'd make this video. And therefore, my friends, if you are ready to begin with this airdrop tutorial, then follow me. So the first step is to launch the Hyperliquid application, of which we can see in the top right corner. Once we continue, my friends, you'll be taken over to a new page, of which is app.hyperliquid.xyz. Once you are here, my friends, of course, we are prompted on the trading section of the platform. We have got multiple sections such as trade, vaults, portfolio, staking, referrals, leaderboard, and much more, of which we'll go through. Now, to begin with, my friends, what we want to do is get started with an EVM wallet. Now, I'm going to show you how to deposit assets into Hyperliquid, but very simply, we're going to need to have to use an EVM wallet that we've already got. And now we're going to get ourselves started by going up into the top right corner. As we can see, we are now provided with some wallet options, of which I'm going to choose my MetaMask EVM wallet. Once we get started, as we can see, we just need to follow these steps. And once you've signed in, my friends, as you can see, you've got your wallet address in the top right corner. This confirms that we are now logged into the Hyperliquid platform, of which we now need to get started by depositing some assets. And therefore, to do so, my friends, we're going to now head over to the portfolio section. Even up the top, it tells us, welcome to Hyperliquid. Deposit Arbitrum USDC to get started. And therefore, you're going to need to have an Arbitrum network set up in your EVM wallet. So it could be MetaMask, OKX, or so on. You're going to need to have Ethereum tokens in your MetaMask wallet on the Arbitrum network in order to pay for those gas fees. And you're going to need to have USDC on the Arbitrum network in order to bridge over to Hyperliquid. So, how do we do that? Well, once we are here on the portfolio section of the Hyperliquid page, you can see that we've got a few tabs which say deposit, withdraw, send, or transfer. Now, in order to get assets onto the platform, we need to click deposit and then we need to click this button down below. Once we are ready, we're going to confirm it, obviously if you are comfortable, and now it says deposit funds to Hyperliquid. Very simple. Click this deposit button. As you can see, it asks you to source it from the Arbitrum network, of which you can choose. Other chains are apparently coming soon, but for now we are limited to Arbitrum and limited to the USDC, USDC.E, and USDT tokens. However, now you need to choose an amount, but we need to switch to Arbitrum and we need to get ourselves some stablecoins. So what I like to personally use is Jumper Exchange, and Jumper Exchange is going to be conducting their own airdrop very soon, of which we have an airdrop tutorial on our YouTube channel, and I'll leave that linked in the description below. However, we're going to use this platform in order to swap. Now, you can cross-chain swap between multiple networks, and therefore if you want to move assets from one network to Arbitrum, you can very simply do so. But I'm going to be doing a native swap, of which I'm going to be using the Arbitrum network. As you can see, I've got $100 in Ethereum, which I'm going to select, and I'm going to swap into USDC. It's very, very simple, and that's all we need to do. So I'm going to type in USDC. As you can see, that is selected, and now I just need to choose an amount. Obviously, guys, the more that you deposit over to Hyperliquid and the more assets that you are using on Hyperliquid, the better off you will be for an airdrop. However, it is entirely up to you however much you want to do. Now, I'm personally just going to do around $72 into USDC, which I'm going to deposit onto Hyperliquid, like I said. I'm now going to confirm the transaction, which, as you can see, my friends, we are now swapping these tokens. So once it has been swapped, my friends, and we've got our USDC, and we go back over to Hyperliquid, give the page a refresh. Now what we need to do is click the deposit button once again. And therefore we can now see that we've got $71.82 worth of USDC. So myself, guys, I'm going to very simply choose the maximum amount to deposit. It's entirely up to you how much you do. Like I said, the more you deposit, the more volume you can conduct and the bigger airdrop you receive, in my personal opinion anyway. However, click in deposit. We are now going to deposit it into the platform. And down below, my friends, we can see that here right now, we've got the $71.82 of which is available. And now, my friends, we can officially begin as we have got our assets on the platform. So it only took a few seconds in order to deposit USDC onto the platform. But the question is, how do we begin? Well, the first thing that I think is the best option in order to qualify for this airdrop is conducting volume. And as we can see here, we can see our overall 14-day volume, of which must be very important if that's what statistics Hyperliquid are providing us. So you can also see your overall volume as well that is conducted on Hyperliquid. Obviously, I've never made any transactions on this network, and I'm afraid I didn't qualify for the first airdrop. However, we want to now start stacking up that volume, which is step one. So to do so, all we need to do is head over to the trade section. Now this trade section, guys, enables you to either A, do market, limit, or pro orders. So it's entirely up to you what sort of trading you want to do on this platform. You can trade a large variety of different currencies, my friends. I mean, look at this. ETH to USD, Bitcoin, Sol, Hype, XRP, Sui, KPepe, Trump, Doge, Fartcoin, Link, Aave, Ondo, VVV, WIF, ENA. Guys, you can see the biggest and best cryptocurrencies here. I mean, look, there are literally hundreds of cryptos that you can trade all in a decentralized manner with no KYC whatsoever. So it's entirely up to you, my friends. I'm not saying exactly what to trade. I am not a trader, I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not a fortune teller. But if you know what you're doing on here, my friends, you very simply want to now start trading. And down below, you can actually see our balance, of which we are happy to see. And now on the right-hand side, we want to conduct a trade. So it depends on which trade you want to do, guys. You can either A, do a market trade, like I said. B, you can do a limit trade. Or C, you can do the pro trading, which is scale or TWAP. Myself, my friends, I'm going to personally do a market order. And I'm now going to very simply need to deposit assets. Now, just for a second, I'm going to move over my camera because you can see we need to deposit assets onto the trading section. Now, although we have got our USDC on the Hyperliquid exchange, we actually need to transfer some assets to the spot trading in order to utilize this trading feature. So once you click transfer to spot, as you can see, we've got an amount that we can transfer to the perps and spot balances. This will enable us to have a set amount of assets of which we can use to trade on the Hyperliquid exchange. So you don't have to transfer the whole amount. It's entirely up to you, and you can transfer it back at any given time. But let's just say, for example, we did $20 we wanted to transfer. We click confirm and we confirm it. Very simple. Now, transfer has been successfully done. In order to now conduct a trade, as you can see, we've got 20 available USDC. And here, my friends, we know we are trading the Hype token, of which we've got selected. And here now you want to choose the size of which you are going to trade the Hype token. It's entirely up to you if you want to do, for example, 0.48 Hype. You can change it into USDC if you want to make it clearer in terms of value. Entirely up to you, my friends. And for example, if I was just to click place order, you just click buy. As you can see, there was no gas fees involved, and we have now performed one transaction of which we have bought Hype tokens. So now, if we go over to our portfolio, we just have to wait for the volume to update, of which we'll have around $13. I know it's not that much, my friends, but we want to continuously stack up this volume by performing trades. Now, if you go back over to the trade section, as you can see, we've got our token balance down below of 0.46 Hype. So if we wanted to sell this token now to conduct more volume, we go up into the sell section. We can now choose the token of which we're selling. It could be Hype, obviously, if you chose Hype. And then very simply, you're going to choose the amount of which you want to sell. And now, as you can see, click place order, click sell, and voila, the order has been submitted. So that's very simply how to trade and open up a trade on the Hyperliquid exchange. And very simply, my friends, you just want to do this back and forth. You just want to trade as many tokens as you can in order to stack up that volume over on your portfolio tab. However, that is not the only thing we can do on the exchange. Now, you can obviously start swapping other tokens, which you can see here. Or, my friends, you can do limit orders if that's something that you are interested in. Entirely up to you. And same with scale and TWAP, like I said. Now, you can actually do some tokens with leverage. So ETH to USDC has leverage. So for example, if you wanted to trade tokens with leverage and you know how to long and short, then by all means do so. However, my friends, me personally, I am not a trader whatsoever. I do not know how to perform accurate trades, and therefore I do not do this whatsoever. But for those who do know how to long and short the market, then by all means, this platform may be handy for you, as you'll be able to trade with up to 50x leverage and maybe even beyond in the future. But guys, I'll leave that up to you. It's entirely up to you if you wanted to do that. You know how to do it. You just need to select a perps pair, of which you can actually filter by selecting the perps section. Here, guys, you'll be able to see all the perps tokens, of which has leverage up to 50x, like I said. Some have 3, some have 5, some have 10x leverage maximum, but it's entirely up to you which token you choose. You could just filter it down by spot tokens, which we did earlier by swapping into Hyperliquid tokens. However, you know the trading section, guys. Get acquainted with it. Use it as much as you possibly can. And the next step we're going to move on to in order to qualify for the airdrop is the vault section. Now, the vault section, how do we do this? Well, we've got a huge list of vaults down here already. We've got some protocol vaults, of which is provided by Hyperliquid, of which we can see the Hyperliquidity provider, the HLP token, has an APR of 19.99% and a TVL of $463 million, which is absolutely huge and is 642 days old. We've got one below that as well, which is older. However, there isn't much TVL in there whatsoever, so I'm not going to touch that. Down below, you can also see some user vaults, of which has a TVL of $8.244 million for Sifu. Asgard Finance has one, Personal Capital, Joseph, SMH, Elsewhere, and so on. It's entirely up to you guys which vaults you're going to use. However, I personally think in order to qualify for the best Hyperliquid airdrop, we're going to do the Hyperliquid provider vault. Now, this is obviously not financial advice, and this is something that I'm going to personally do. I'm now going to select this vault. And as you can see, we are now going to be using the funds that are not in our trading account. So if you did by any chance deposit all of your assets into the trading section, guys, you will have to transfer some back into your normal Hyperliquid account in order to deposit assets into this pool. Now, bear in mind, guys, the deposit lockup period is 4 days, and therefore for 4 days, you will not be able to touch your token. So you must be comfortable with depositing assets into this vault in order to continue. So it's up to you guys. However, just as an example, I'm going to deposit 20 USDC. Now, once I click deposit, once again, deposit is pending, and we have deposited into the vault, which took a matter of seconds, and there were no gas fees in it whatsoever. So we are going to get an APR of roughly 20%, which is pretty wicked. Although I've only deposited $20, guys, we are now going to generate fees, and hopefully this will qualify us for the airdrop as well. Now, the more that you do, obviously, guys, the better off you will be. The more volume, the more transactions you conduct on Hyperliquid, the better off you will be. Now, in the previous airdrop, it was all about points, but this time we don't believe it's going to be based on points, but it's going to be simply on how much you use Hyperliquid. So now that you know how to deposit into a vault, you can very simply replicate that with any other vaults as well. If you wanted to go into a user vault, you can very simply do so. You can deposit $1, $2, $100, or even $1 million. Entirely up to you. But my friends, going back, now if we go to our portfolio section, we can see that the volume still hasn't updated, but down below we'll be able to see all of our balances. We can see that we've got $31 on our perp section, $19 on our spot section. You can also see your positions, you can see your open orders, your trade history, your funding history, your order history, and your deposits and withdrawals. So my friends, very simply, you know what you're doing so far, but the next most crucial step, in my personal opinion, which I think is probably going to be the biggest eligibility requirement, and that is going to be through staking the Hype token. Why would I say this? Because obviously Hype is the native token of this exchange and blockchain, and therefore the Hype token is the crucial token of which those who are staking this token are helping to secure the blockchain and exchange. And for those who are supporting their vision and their mission and their overall blockchain, I personally think Hyperliquid are going to reward them heavily, and therefore we can join the 427.7 million staked tokens by staking some tokens as well. Now, in order to stake some tokens, we're going to have to get some tokens. And in order to get some tokens, we need to swap some tokens. So we're going back over to trade. Now, once we're back over here, guys, we need to go back up to the top left corner, select the spot section, and select Hype to USDC. Once we are here, we now want to buy ourselves some Hype tokens, of which we can choose an amount to buy. It's entirely up to you guys, but let's just say we bought, I don't know, half a Hype. We're now going to place order. We're now going to click buy. It's going to be roughly $26 worth. And now, my friends, what we want to do is very simply go back over to staking, come back down here, and we now want to click the spot to staking balance transfer, which will then transfer our assets from the spot section over to the staking balance section. So if we click this button, as you can see, it's going to move over our 0.5 Hype that we just bought and transfer it over to staking balance. Very simple. Now we just need to click confirm. And as you can see now, we have got an available amount of Hype to stake, of which is 0.5, the amount we just transferred. And therefore in the bottom left corner, we're just going to click this stake tokens button. If you are happy and if you are ready to, you're just going to click the amount that you want to stake. Now you need to select a validator, guys. It's entirely up to you which ones you choose. Please bear in mind, guys, that there is a staking lockup period for 1 day, and therefore you cannot withdraw your tokens within that 1 day time, and therefore you must be comfortable in order to do this. So me personally, I'm going to now stake my tokens, of which I'm going to confirm. As you can see, we have now staked successfully. We give the page a refresh. Although it still says your stake 0, we know that we've staked 0.509 tokens down here in our staking balance. And guys, at any time you're ready, obviously after the 1 day lockup period, you click unstake tokens, you choose the amount, obviously the validator of which you're staked to, and voila, you are good to go. But my friends, that is very simply how to stake tokens, and I think this is going to be one of the biggest sections of the Hyperliquid Airdrop round 2. If I am wrong, I'll be very, very surprised. However, I do really think this is a crucial step, and for those who stake the tokens will be better off in the future. But my friends, moving on over to the referrals section. This is the next section of which you can boost your airdrop by inviting your friends. However, in order to get a referral code, my friends, you're going to need to have a trading volume of roughly $9,961. Obviously, I'm very far off. Now, once I do conduct around $10,000 in volume, I will be able to create a code and send it to you guys. But for now, you're going to have to find one elsewhere if you can. But my friends, this might actually be another sign of which we may need to conduct $10,000 in volume overall in order to qualify for their airdrop. That might not be the case, my friends, but why they have a $10,000 limit for referrals and not the airdrop will be beyond me. However, I personally think that will probably be the case. I may be completely wrong, but that's something we can keep an eye on. Now over to the leaderboard section, guys. You can see if you select your wallet address, which we can go into MetaMask, select our wallet address. Now we click paste. Obviously, it hasn't updated yet, but this excludes accounts with less than 10,000 USDC account value and less than 1 million USDC trading volume. So obviously, guys, we haven't hit those brackets and we will not find ourselves in the leaderboard. But for those who do have that sort of volume and those sort of funds in their account, will definitely have themselves a nice airdrop in the future, in my personal opinion. But my friends, that's basically the Hyperliquid platform in a nutshell. You know how to trade, you know how to deposit into vaults, you know how to stake tokens, you know how to refer your friends, and of course, you can now check that all out on your portfolio tab. My friends, this is very simply what you want to do. You want to use this platform as much as you possibly can. If you're going to be a trader, you might as well do it in a decentralized manner and potentially earn one of the biggest airdrops in crypto history, of which I really hope it is. Now friends, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. If you have any more content that you want to see, please let us know in the comment section down below. This was a requested video, and my friends, we are happy to provide more requested videos as long as you provide them. Once again, we appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. We have so many more crypto airdrops on our YouTube channel, so be sure to check those out, and we can't wait to see you in the next video.